What's up, y'all? Straight to the point. Y'all be sure to hit that like and make sure you sub to the channel if you're not a member also. Um, Salute to the whole entire line then. Let's go ahead and get right into it, y'all. Uh, Man, look here, man. Now, Charleston White in trouble again. Of course, they're trying to attach all these felonies on him, uh, on top of the one that he just recently had, which is aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Um, and then also you had the cruelty to animals and all that sort of thing. But the bigger question is Charleston White going to be able to get off? That's what everybody wants to know. That's the infamous question. Will he be able to get off? Will he be able to beat this? Because he could be facing likely he's could be facing um, up to 99 years, pretty much life. And Charleston White has been able to escape a lot of things. I mean, he's been able to get away with saying the stuff that he says. Whether some of the stuff you might agree with it, some of the stuff is controversial, and some of the stuff is just nonsense. Okay, I mean there are some valid points that I'm not gonna sit up here and cap like he doesn't make any valid points. He does, but at the same time, it's also the way that you're going about it too. Some of it is buffoonery or whatnot. What's up, gamer kid? I see you in here. But the interesting thing is how Charleston White keeps getting a fair shake all the time. Now, do I think, like me myself personally, do I think he should get off? It just depends on what it is, man. If you're pulling out, if you pull out any weapon, it should be only on the premise of if somebody's trying to harm you or of course take your life or whatever, or of course you're defending your family too. But if you're just pulling it out and it has to do with something, domestic dispute or you making a threat or something like that, then nah, not at all. You know what I'm saying? You gotta pay the price for what you did. You know, a lot of people don't. This is the thing, man. A lot of people don't like what Charleston White stands for. Y'all hit the like when y'all come in here. Y'all hit the like when you come in here. Salute to y'all. Your boy driving right now. Salute to y'all. Salute, 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 salute. But I mean, he's a human being just like anybody else. And I know a couple people brought up a good point, man. All the money that you're making now that you talk about that, you supposedly have, and you don't need this, you don't need that, and everything. Now you're gonna have to really get in your bag now. Uh, okay, ASAP Rocky is one thing. All them guys like Diddy and Jay Z, Russell Simmons. That's another thing. you don't happen to be any of those guys. Yeah, you're popular and everything, but are you going to be able to maneuver your way out of it? That's what a lot of people want to know. Me, I have a feeling that he is going to be able to pull this off. Now I'm not going to sit up here and act like he's not in good with the justice system. He is. He is in good with the justice system. Okay, I mean, let's just call it what it is, man. There's a lot of people that don't like that. What's up, Ghost Runner? You said down, brother. Hey, what's going on, Leo? How you doing, man? Yeah, over here, man, I talk to everybody, man. So if you come through, you say what's up, you're gonna get a reply, man. Over here, we're gonna respond to everybody, man. Unless you over here to cap or say some silly shit. You said how many sub? Um, but yeah, Charleston White, man. A lot of people are praising this. Now look, man, I'm not gonna pray. I'm not gonna pray on the man's downfall. I'm not gonna praise a guy who, is getting locked up and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? Now, yesterday you might have saw some praise from that dude, the dude that unalived the teenager that was just knocking on his door, Lester. Um, I celebrated that. You said, why do you have this name in YouTube? This name is so long. Because I want to, Leo. Okay, that's just my name. You know, that's our name, and actually, that's actually short compared to a lot of other names that I've seen. Okay, so well, if hey Leo, I'm gonna tell you like this, man. Like I told you yesterday, like my channel and like the things that I'm doing, or you could bounce, or I could go ahead and make you bounce yourself. You know what I'm saying? I could bounce you up out of here. Okay. So if you don't like it, go ahead and kick rocks, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, my channel, until you come with some creativity with it, then you don't need to say anything. And I'm keeping it. I'm doing my best to keep it respectful, and I'm trying to let you live right now. It's not your YouTube, man. Get the fuck out of here, man. Yeah, it's time for you to go. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of my channel, man. Now that I show you it's my channel, now that's the title of your name, Ghost. So you ghost. I just ghosted your ass. Which means you ain't nothing but a spirit and a living memory. Now, interrupt me again. I'm trying to have a conversation with you, and you come in here talking bullshit. Now, anyways, man, let me get right back to it. With Charleston White, he more than likely, man, he's gonna get off. I can see him getting off. I know a lot of people, like I said, man, I'm not praising this guy downfall, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people really don't know what the situation is. You know, it could be something that we're making assumptions about, like, him, doing something of stupidity, like him, being at the barbershop and him, that situation that happened there, or you know what I'm saying. But then there have been times when I know that people have ran up on him because of what he said, because of the things that he said. People are gonna run up. People are gonna run up on him, And I don't give a fuck if you don't. If you take the like away, that shit don't bother me. If you pout, you mad in your feelings, man. Nah, what we gonna do? This channel is for real, man. We're gonna talk about this stuff. If you don't want to talk about what I'm talking about, like I told you, man, you could exit your ass up out of here. It's as simple as that. But a lot of the things that you see like on social media and stuff, with him pepper spraying people, or him squaring up with people over there at Rolling Loud and all that stuff, man. That is because of some of the things that he said. You know what I'm saying? Or him getting into it with various guys on radio because he done got into it with he gotten into it with Atula Marv and uh, gotten into it with Mob James. Uh, we gotten into it with there was that other podcast. I forget the other guy that interviewed him. I know he's been into it a couple of times. I want to say with Say Cheese. They're a little back and forth or whatever, but nothing too serious. He got into it with Melvin Farmer. Because it was with Melvin Farmer and it was with Arturo Lamar. Man, what is going on over here? But anyways, man, yeah, that's that, man. Charleston White, man, he in jail again. We'll see if he does the unthinkable and beats this. But facing 99 years, man, it's gonna be tough. You're gonna you can't be in a situation where it's like with Rihanna and have that long money, have that billionaire money, and then they buy your ass out. Under the come with her attorneys or anything like that, man. Nah, ain't one of them type of situations. And on top of that, in Texas, they play by. I think that's what shout out to Ticket TV. He was talking about this yesterday, but he did say something that was very so true, and that I know about. Texas plays by a different set of rules. A different set of rules, man. And people got to understand, Texas is pretty much its own government, man. Good old boy system. Good old boy system. Now, Lavar Ball. Let me talk about him for a second. Cypress, what's going on, Cypress TV? Make sure y'all go sub to the brother Cypress TV in the building, man. Go down over there. Let's talk about Lavar Ball for a second, man. And Cypress, man, I don't need you clowning him right now. We're trying to remain, somewhat, empathetic, sympathetic as to what's going on. But LeVar Ball, man, shame on the media, man, for tearing this guy down, man. I don't, I don't appreciate the media for how they're trying to tear LeVar Ball down. Why can't they just say that this dude got his foot amputated because he's having health issues? You said Texas, Florida, Georgia, Alabama system. You away in it. Yeah, yeah, you're right about that. Nah, man. I'm trying to chill out with all that right now, man. Nah, really. Man, Lavar Ball, man. He he done a lot, and he don't get no credit for what he does, man. And the the media, the media try. Well, they already tried to destroy him with that whole Molly situation. You know damn well, he wasn't trying to flirt with Molly like that. But here go Molly, which she plays the victim all the time, always trying to cut everybody off and thinking that she's a good moderator, in which she isn't. Now all of a sudden you don't see LeVar Ball on TV no more. And then he bet on his kids and won. Yeah, he did. He did. That's a fact. He bet on his kids and he won. And on top of that, a lot of people can sit up here and say, "Oh well, Lonzo Ball, he hasn't panned out to anything. Uh, what's it called? LaMelo Ball, he's struggling with Charlotte, and LiAngelo Ball, he didn't make it in the NBA." Well, first off, uh, let's start with just LeVar Ball just being in their lives, right? Let's just start with that. He's in their lives. He's been present. You know what I'm saying? Let's just start with that, okay? Okay, he came out with Lonzo Ball hyping him up and and everything. It worked though. It worked. It got him top, one of the top pick in the draft. You know what I'm saying? Now, whether or not he lived up to that, hey, that's a whole nother story. But it worked though. You know what I'm saying? I mean, game sold, not told, anyways. And then when he created the JBL, I felt like the NBA they got mad at him because he was giving guys opportunity. I thought that was a great idea what he did, what LeVar Ball did, but the NBA was mad at that because they really couldn't control him. And then on top of that, he was coming with his own brand. He was teaching guys. He was not only teaching his son, but he was also actually putting the world on game. If you really want to be honest, he was really putting the world on the game. Now, the way that he went about some stuff was outlandish or something like that, but it worked. Like you even got you got Cypress up in here, clowning the man's teeth and everything like that. But I mean, hey, y'all paying attention to him though. But besides all that, why does the media want to tear, particularly, the black man down when he's going through something like this? You know what I'm saying? Why can't they be empathetic? But see, if it's another color, guess what? They're gonna be empathetic to what they're going through. They're gonna say, "Oh yeah, well, he had his foot amputated. Let's have all this grief for him." No, they want to bring up and they want to try to destroy this dude. They want to try to destroy him and say that, oh, he was outlandish and over the top, and his kids weren't as successful and all this other stuff, man. Dog, y'all just mad because he made it. Y'all just mad because this dude made it. He created an empire, which is something that a lot of men can't really sit up here and say. What empire can they say that they have created? Nah, they want to sit here and watch what he's doing. He put his son on game, and on top of that, he's created generational wealth. He's created generational wealth and generational intelligence, generational financial literacy. At least from the outside looking in, you never know what decisions that they might ultimately make. So you got to give LeVar Ball his credit though. But yeah, I agree with what Cypress is saying. Uh, he bet on his kids and he won. Now whether you like it, whether you don't, that's on you. That's on you. And he stood 10 toes down on what he's doing. But shout out to LeVar Ball. Like I said, we don't know what's going on. We don't know if it has to do with diabetes or if it's any other health complication. I don't want to rush to make any assumptions or whatever. But when you think I've got uh, a couple of amputees in my family, and had a couple of amputees in my family because they've already transitioned. Like both my grandfather and my grandmother were amputees on um, on my mom's side or whatnot. So, but I've seen it. I've seen it. Up close and personal. It could be anything, man. It could be a number of different things. But like I said, I'm not a physician. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a I'm not in the medical field. But what I will say, and what I will tell people is to go get your blood work checked, go get everything done. Now, just because he got his foot amputated and all that, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's not really a bad thing. That's actually saving his life because what do you want? What do you want? I mean, do you want to just go ahead and let it whatever is causing complications with your life take you out, or do you want to go ahead and be able to stay above the surface a few more years? Which one would you choose? So hold on. I know, I know. This is what everybody want to talk about. They want to talk about the game yesterday. They want to talk about Charlotte beating LA, and um, them going neck and neck. Everybody talking about the dunk that LeBron had, but they're not talking about how LaMelo Ball and he cooked Luca. He absolutely put on a show. Everybody talking about the dunk that he had and everything. Wait a minute, I thought you had ankle soreness. And what makes you look even more bad is the fact that you told everybody that hey, I'm not gonna play in the All-Star game, and then you come out here and you lose to Charlotte right out the gate. Right out of the gate. Now, LeBron, he had 26 points, and Luca had 14, 8, and 11 or something like that. Not his best game, and that was in 33 minutes. And I already know that, like Dreamer, I want to give a shout out to Dreamers Pro. I think it might be coming. And what I'm talking about is here you got the Luca haters, the LeBron lovers, and the Luca haters. They're gonna come out. They're gonna say, "Oh man, Luca only scored 14 points. Um, LeBron had 26. Luca's not upholding his end of the bargain." Like we told you, this shit is gonna in order for this shit even to have a chance to work out, one of those guys is gonna have to go. Okay, it's just it's not gonna work, and they're losing to a team like Charlotte. and stuff. And I know some people are gonna say, "Oh yeah, well straight, they got to build chemistry and all this other stuff." I get that, but not the LeBron fans. They don't get that. And you know, a lot of the LeBron fans, well, I should say stands, a lot of them are going to sit up here and they're going to place the blame right on Luka, even if it wasn't entirely his fault, because of they want to make him the scapegoat. That's what Two Raw was saying. Shout out to him, and that's what Dreamers Pro was saying. Now I'm trying to see what they could possibly do, but they were supposed to beat Charlotte. I know they only lost by 3, but they were supposed to beat them. You know, and I just don't see this thing working out. Um, and Luca really doesn't look. He doesn't look acclimated yet. Of course, you got to. There's going to be, a little bit of a period. To me, there isn't really no. There's no honeymoon period. There's no honeymoon period with this, because this really isn't starting off. They're actually what, 1-2. They're 1-2, and all of these teams are horrible teams so far since they played. They're 1-2. They've only beat the Jazz. They lost to the Jazz, and now they lost to the Hornets. And everybody talking about, oh yeah, the Lakers are gonna win the championship. Well, what about it now, Perk? Or well, really, I don't think it was Perk. It was Sharp. Hold on. Yeah, a lot of people quiet now. They don't want to talk about this. They don't want to talk about this right now. But we are going to talk about it because, listen, man. Now you got this. Now you got people questioning, was this a mistake? Watch, you're gonna see. Watch, you're gonna see it all today. It's gonna be all on social media. They gonna try to do their best to destroy Luka right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the narrative is gonna be, well, LeBron is playing great. He's doing this and he's doing that. What about Luka? He's supposed to be, getting his conditioning right. He's supposed to be this. He's supposed to be that. I can already see it happening. I can already see it happening, man. Now we got a bunch of games tonight, and this second half of the season, I want to give a shout out to the brother Chilltown Hoops, because he was talking about a couple of the teams that are going to make a push. I know I was talking about this with the brother Cypher TV too. We were talking about teams that are going to make a push. One of the ones that stands out in my mind is San Antonio. I really do feel like San Antonio is going to make a push. And it's just something about that roster that has me looking at them as a team that can surprise a lot of people, because San Antonio, you say what you want, they're energetic. Let's start with youth. They got youth on their side. These guys are young. They're energetic. They're full of life. And these guys, man, they have a lot of scorers on their team that are very athletic. You got Vassell, you got Castle. I mean, Wemby, a lot of people don't think that Wemby is athletic. Wemby is athletic too for his size. He's just big as hell. You know what I'm saying? But he's athletic for his size. Then on top of that, you got Sochan. Um, they have a good roster that could surprise a lot of people, but those are my another surprise is Detroit. I like I told people yesterday with Detroit, you gotta look out for Detroit. I don't know why people continue not to give Detroit their props, but you gotta look out for Detroit, man. You just have to. They're not a team that you're just gonna come in and just blow them out of the building like you were, a couple of seasons ago. It used to be that way, but it's not that way anymore. It used to be that way, but it is not that way anymore. And uh, I really don't. I disagree with a lot of people thinking that Boston is going to be the threat. Somebody had said that. I think I was in it. I was in Chilltown's chat, and somebody was saying that OKC will get blown out by by Boston, and that's not true, man. That's not true at all. That's not true. What's up, Alex? That is not true at all. Boston, Boston, Boston is they're still the champs, but they're not. To me, they're kind of coasting right now. Now, I know what people are going to say. They're going to say, well, there have been teams in the past, like the Bulls, and I'm talking about in terms of seeding. Even I would say like the Rockets. Um, I think the Lakers too. There have been teams in the past that have won, and they weren't. They repeated, and they weren't really a high seed. You know what I'm saying? They weren't really ranked that high. Um, but my thing is this though. Let's see how this plays out. And what Chilltown was saying yesterday, he brought up something interesting. This is what he said. He said after a certain amount of games, some of these teams should shut it down. Like I'm already at the point now where what's it called? Philly should shut it down. What's up, the real? I I think that Philly should go ahead and shut it down. Okay, that's just my opinion. I don't see them making a push. Um, and when I mean shut it down, I'm talking in terms of hey, go ahead and do what play here. You know what I'm saying? But let's just go ahead and look forward to next season because the likelihood of you making it into the play in, uh, it's probably not gonna happen. Okay, like teams like New Orleans and the Wizards and teams like that, you want to go ahead and just build on and honestly, I don't even see them happening. I think the Wizards probably got a good chance of getting Cooper, Cooper Flag. I think that they got the best chance of getting him, and that of course that depends on that's also going to depend on several different factors because I don't really know looking at the like their picks and stuff if they gave some picks away or whatnot, but Washington right now, it's like Washington isn't even a basketball team really. That's you know what I mean. I don't mean to listen, man. I'm not disrespecting DC at all, man. But I remember when the Wizards, you had to be somewhat. worried about them a little bit. You know, when they had Gilbert Arenas, when they when they used to have that little team for a little bit, you had to be worried about them just a little bit. Not in terms of winning the championship or whatever, but because you had some guys on there that could, that were actually pretty decent players. And then of course you had a little run with Gilbert Arenas, and then going back further back in the days, we could take it all the way back to like Wes Unseld, and with when they were the Bullets and stuff, and then when they had a little young squad back then in the '90s when they had Juwan Howard and Chris Webber and Rod Strickland and stuff. You used to have to kind of be worried about them. You said they ain't been the same since they had John Wall. Yeah, that's true, man. I can't even argue that. They, I mean, and it's like when you look at Washington or whatever, it's like, man, somebody's gonna have to go over there. Like they're gonna have to have an overhaul, like the Commanders did in football. That's what they're gonna have to do because the owner of the, believe it or not, the guy who owns the Commanders, he owns the Philadelphia 76ers. You know, so they're gonna have to do something, man, with Washington, man. I don't like seeing Washington like that. Just like I didn't like seeing the New York Knicks like the for the and I'm gonna tell you another thing too about the Knicks. I'm not sold on the Knicks. It's nothing against Brunson, but it's got everything to do with Cat, and it's got everything to do with their defense. I don't see New York as a threat uh, to beat anybody like in the playoffs. I don't see them getting like to the finals or anything. As a matter of fact, I'm willing to say this: if they get into a dogfight with Detroit, I feel like Detroit can beat them. I'm so confident. I'm so confident in Detroit right now. I feel like if Detroit gets in a dogfight with anybody in the Eastern Conference, Detroit can Detroit can fuck around and win. That's how confident I am in Detroit. That's how confident I am in them because Detroit. I'm gonna say it again. Okay, I'll say it again. All right, one thing for certain, two things for sure. These guys got nothing to lose, and they got everything to gain next season. That's what you have to pay attention to. You know, and now Cleveland, I'm still not sold on Cleveland. Let me explain something about Cleveland. Cleveland, Cleveland is not. I don't fear Cleveland, and a lot of people think that Donovan Mitchell, he's the one that you gotta fear or you gotta worry or anything like that. No, the people you gotta worry about on that squad that Cleveland uh, make that ship float is Garland. Okay, I think that Garland, in my opinion, Garland is more important than Donovan Mitchell and Jared Allen, who should have been an All Star. Doesn't take anything away from Evan Mobley, but we all know that Jared Allen should have been an All Star just as well as Evan Mobley. If you were gonna give anybody a All Star nod on that team, it should have been it should have been pretty much all four of them. But Jared Allen, I think, should have went before Evan Mobley. That's just my opinion. I think Jared Allen has had a better season than Evan Mobley. But I'm worried about Donovan Mitchell showing up in the playoff. A point was made yesterday on Chilltown's channel. They were basically saying that Donovan Mitchell he's put teams out in like the uh, Donovan Mitchell has had a history of shooting a low percentage when it comes to the playoffs, and he has had a history of him not showing up in big ball games. He's got a history of that. Now, last season, did he do did he do better? Yes, but when he played with the Jazz, shot horrible, man. He shot horrible. Now, I remember, against Westbrook and all of that. But this is a new day and time. Can can you get in a dogfight with, let's say, a New York or something like that, and still be? I'm saying if they play them and still be who you are. That's what we have to. Can you get in a dogfight with Jalen Brunson and come out on top? And not to say that Jalen Brunson's going to be, they're going to be guarding each other or whatnot, but I'm just talking about, just the guard position. Can can you get in a dogfight when OG is putting the clamps on you, or Mikal Bridges is putting the clamps on you? And on top of that, they got Mitchell Robinson back too. I know some people laughing at Mitchell Robinson, but I still got faith in Mitchell Robinson. I still got faith in Mitchell Robinson and stuff, but New York, I'm not sold on them. The teams that I'm more worried about and I'm more concerned about are, I would say Detroit. I would say Detroit and um, let's see. You know what, man? I know this might sound crazy. Atlanta is not nothing to be. They're not a team that you want to just play around with either, because they've shown that they could put up points on the board, and on top of that they could defend too. Orlando, they're starting to have some slippage a little bit. I do like the way, I gotta look at the Bucks a little bit more. Now the Bucks, they're starting to play. Their whole goal is to play faster, especially with the addition of Kyle Kuzma. So I got to see how that plays out. But I worry about the Bucks for two reasons. That's Dame Lillard. I know y'all you gonna trip out when I say that. Dame Lillard, he played good. During the All Star game, lighting them up. You know what I'm saying, pulling up from half and all that other stuff. But you got to worry about him in the playoffs. Can you get Dame time when it really matters? And then I worry about Brooke Lopez. I worry about Brooke Lopez because Brooke Lopez, he's not he's not that old Brooke Lopez that was gonna get down in the post and do all that other stuff. It's like Brooke Lopez, he's not a defender. He'll hit him every now and then, but also he's been known to struggle. You know what I'm saying, from the outside too. You got to worry about him too. So that's what I worry about in terms of the Bucks. But do I see the Bucks actually possibly pulling off the unthinkable? Yeah, especially if Giannis is who he is. Because we know Giannis is always going to get his. You know what I'm saying? He's going to do what he does. Now, I'm starting in the West. I'm starting to change my mind just a little bit because Denver is really making a put. I don't know, something about Denver, man. It looks really different, man. Jokic is really playing out of his mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, which he pretty much does every season. But Joker, man, I mean, he's on a different level. And also, I want to say this too. I can see the Warriors taking taking Denver if the Warriors like which I know that they're going to do. They're going to make a push. The Warriors are going to make a push. I can see the Warriors taking Denver like pushing them to the limit because to me the only thing that prevents the Warriors from winning is their size. But for some reason, I feel like the Warriors they can actually shot Denver. Now you got to worry about you got to worry about Jokic and you got to worry about Murray. You know what I'm saying? And then you got to contain Westbrook too. So those are some things too. And when I look at Denver, it will possibly pose a matchup problem because I mean you got Kaminga, who's coming back and everything, and he'll be able to somewhat keep up with Westbrook or keep up with the Jamal Murrays and stuff. Then you got to worry about Michael Porter Jr. You got to worry about Aaron Gordon. So it's going to be a lot of matchup problems. But for some reason, I feel like the Warriors could possibly do it. Now you got to worry about age. And one thing that was brought up, I think one thing that what's his name, Chilltown had brought up, man. He was talking about can Steph Curry turn back the clock to a 20, 25, 26-year-old Steph Curry and light dudes up. And I feel like Steph Curry could. I feel like he really could. And you also got to look at their personnel. It's different, but you also have a lot of similarities. Jimmy Butler is not the shooter that Clay is, but Clay isn't the scorer that Jimmy Butler is. Even though that um, Clay has got a bag and everything like that, but he's more shooter for the city. However, one thing that they do identify with each other, and they're similar, is that Clay and Jimmy Butler are two elite defenders. Well, in a lot of people's eyes, some people feel like Clay has fell off or whatever. I still feel like he's an elite defender. Uh, do I see Dallas making a push? Possibly, maybe, but don't quote me on that. They got guys that are out. You got Gafford out. You got Lively out. Lively's injury was that was pretty bad. And then of course you got AD out. And this is another thing. A lot of people didn't notice. I forget the dude's name I was talking to, man. What is that dude's name? I was telling someone yesterday. They didn't know that Kyrie Irving is playing hurt. Kyrie Irving is playing hurt, man. Kyrie Irving is playing hurt. He's got a bulging disc in his back, and on top of that, he's got shoulder. He's having shoulder issues, and that's why I give props to Kyrie, man. He's playing through all of this. Now, I would like him to show up if they happen to mess around, go to the finals and everything. It would be great to see Kyrie get his get back and everything, especially against Boston. I would like to see that. And a lot of people feel that Dallas has enough to make it. um, back to the finals and everything. But I just don't see that happening. There's too many strong teams in the Western Conference, especially when you talk about OKC. And Memphis. Even though that everything is going on with with Ja, all these rumors and stuff like that, you still got to worry about Memphis. And I'm gonna ask a question later, but this has to do with Jaren Jackson Jr. and it also has to do with Ja Morant too. But I'm gonna pose that question later. I'm gonna pose that question later. But and then Houston, I'm not gonna rule Houston out. Uh, Sacramento, I don't see them beating anybody. They'll be. I don't even see them being really all that competitive. I don't think that even though that they played together before, Zach Levine and DeMar DeRozan, we saw what happened there, and that's what I worry about. You have two guys that kind of play. They have a lot of similarities in their game, and I just don't see that happening. Even though that they got Valanciunas over there with Sabonis and stuff like that, that beefs up their rebounding. But I still don't see Sacramento as a threat. When you lost De'Aaron Fox and he went over there to San Antonio, man, you lost a lot. You lost a lot, man. You lost a lot. But yeah, for right now, I think my pick coming out of the West is still gonna be OKC. Just for right now, like I said, man, I gotta look over this next month. We got what's it called? Play in is right around the corner, so it's gonna be some teams that are really gonna be fighting in position. Like I said, the Lakers, if they're playing like this, the Lakers might as well look for the next season. And if Luca, let's say Luca does get hot, you still got to have a big man. You still got to have people around. You still got to have elite defenders that can sustain, their level of play. Because the Lakers at one point were at fifth place. You know what I'm saying? They were going between fourth and sixth place, somewhere around there. But if they're losing a bad team like they lost to Charlotte, I don't see them making it past the second round, man. I don't even see them getting out of the first round, really, honestly. But hey, I'm finna go ahead and roll out, y'all. I appreciate y'all pulling up. Make sure y'all like the video, share it, subscribe, hit them notifications too. Straight to the point, sports and entertainment. I'll get at y'all later.